A retired high school basketball coach was once asked, "Who is the best player you ever had? Your most valuable player, the champion, the kid who made it big?" But the coach said he could not just choose one, because he had a different way of measuring success. He said, "I coached some incredible athletes. I coached kids who struggled just to make the team. Looking back, I realized that every player responded differently. Some were overconfident. There were others who weren't as confident. Some loved being on the team. They wanted to be there. They worked hard. They gave everything they had. And yet others gave just enough to get by. And they often didn't have the best attitudes. Some were excited at the beginning, but then lost interest when things got hard and challenging. Others struggled from day one, but they kept showing up over and over again. They listened, they learned, and they became some of the strongest players. Despite the great rewards that came from coaching, he often faced great rejection. There were members of the team that he felt he couldn't help, but there were also other students who ignored him completely and didn't receive his advice. But he always tried to do the right thing, spreading words of encouragement and helping them. He said, "All I could do was teach, encourage, correct, and believe in them. My job was to coach every player like they mattered." Many years went by, and the coach would run into former players. Some had become teachers, some were electricians, others were engineers. Some went into the medical profession, some were raising families. And when he ran into them, do you know what they didn't talk about? Winning games. Instead, they said, "Coach, you taught me how to keep going when life got hard. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. You always remembered my name, and you were interested in what was going on in my life. The lessons I learned on your team helped me throughout my entire life." It really wasn't until his retirement years that the coach realized that he had been planting seeds all along. He realized that the seeds he had planted many years ago had made a big difference in the lives of those young people. As disciples and as followers of Jesus Christ, every one of us, whether you realize it or not, every one of us are given the opportunity to plant simple and ordinary seeds in the lives of other people every single day. In our homes, at work, at school, with friends, and right here in our community of faith. Taking the time to check in on someone, a parent taking the time to listen to their child tell you about their day. A word of encouragement for someone who is lonely or sick or grieving. Offering to pray for somebody. Reaching out to someone we haven't seen in a while. We plant seeds every time our lives reflect the love of Christ. In today's gospel, the parable of the sower, Jesus describes God as a farmer. And he says the farmer doesn't take the seed and strategically plant it where he thinks the growth will get the best results. Instead, he takes the seed and he randomly throws it everywhere. Everywhere. Some of it lands on rocky ground. Some of it lands on thorns. And some of it lands on good soil and takes root. Now, some people might say, well, that's pretty wasteful, just to take all that seed and to throw it everywhere. But that's how God is. And Jesus says, that's how we are to be as well. We all know too well times in our lives when we have been loving and kind, when we did the right thing and our love was not received or was met with indifference or apathy or downright hostility. Do you know what Jesus tells us in today's gospel? Keep loving anyway. Because it is our job to spread love. And unfortunately, in life, we have very little control over how the love in our hearts will be received by other people. Some of it will land on very rocky ground. Some of it will land on thorns, and some of what we scatter will land in the right place on good soil. Some of the love that's in our heart, the seed that we throw out, will be received, and some of it will not. Some of the seed will fall on cold hearts of hurtful and ungrateful people. Some of it will be met by hatred and resistance. And Jesus tells us, keep loving anyway. Sometimes when we are kind and loving to others, and they don't respond in the way that we want them to do, our human temptation is to close up our hearts, to protect ourselves. But Jesus teaches us not to do that. Jesus says, keep loving, keep showing kindness, not only to the people who are kind to us, but to everybody. And that sometimes is not easy. But when we keep choosing love and kindness, do you know what we're doing? We're showing to other people what Jesus is like. And in fact, we're becoming more and more like him. In his own life, and all we need to do is look at the cross. In his own life, Jesus faced so much animosity, rejection, and hatred. And what did he do? He kept loving. He kept spreading seeds of goodness, even in the face of death. Just like Jesus and the retired basketball coach, it's our job to scatter the seeds. Not only when it's easy, but when it can be difficult and challenging, to let the seeds fall where they will. Some of the seeds that we throw out there, yes, will fall on rocky ground. Some will fall on thorns. But some of it, and dare I say, most of it, will fall on good soil that God will nurture and God will grow. The love that's inside of us will not be received by everyone. And you know what? That's okay. Sometimes people will not accept our kindness. Sometimes people will ignore and be unkind. If we make a difference in someone's life, that's great. And if we don't, we just keep loving anyway. Our job is to take those seeds and to scatter them, to spread them wherever God leads us, and to trust that God will do the rest. Amen.